Well, welcome to the threesome, y'all. Podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least 3 topics each week. Sorry about last week, them topics ran long. But we'll try to do better this week.
Maybe.
Possibly. Perhaps.
If this is your first time joining us, we are so glad you found us. Glad you're here, and as always, we apologize in advance. Not all of us, but
yeah, I'm done apologizing.
Raise his hand. Fuck y'all, this the best podcast y'all got going.
Pretty much. What else y'all got to do? Anyway, if you are back for more of us, woo! I mean, thanks for sticking with us and putting up with us once again.
Yay! You're the real MVP.
So the voices you hear are our point person and optimistic realist. We call her Star.
You doing hoe activities with hoe tendencies. Hoes are your friends. Hoes are your enemies. Oh, sorry. Had to get that out.
A hoe is what you see in the mirror. Anyway.
Wait a minute, what?
Ooh, that's fighting words.
Well.
And our man in the middle of our threesome and our voice of reason.
Lucky guy.
We call him Magic.
People take time to figure out the difference between people's intent and how you took it.
I go silly, and you always go like
Trying to provide balance here.
I suppose.
I usually have topics that are actually helpful. That's why I switch it to sex shit. We got to keep multiple audiences engaged.
Yeah.
It's on purpose.
And bringing up the rear, as always, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian of our group, and they call me Storm.
Take that.
Yeah. Anyway, so anything we're announcing this here week?
I think Ivanka Trump died.
No, Ivana Trump died.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah, Ivana Trump died. I didn't realize she was only...
Ivana, and he married a chick named Ivanka?
No, his daughter's name is Ivanka. Ivana and Donald's daughter is Ivanka. He married a chick named Melania.
He had a wife before that.
Yes, her name was... I can't remember. That's Tiffany's mama. I can't remember.
You already know more than
me. Kids' names. Only thing I remember about them kids is him taking them on a shopping spree to Kmart.
I only remember their names.
Keep the money.
I only remember their names because they're in the news all the goddamn time. Except for Tiffany. Tiffany is the only one I remember because she's got the same name as my cousin.
Speaking of presidential kids, shout out to Hunter Biden. You go, boy.
What do you do?
Yeah,
everything. Just look up the videos.
He having a good time?
Crack, hose, dick out, all that.
Damn.
Oh, okay. So all the shit Don Jr. was doing.
Off camera.
Anyway.
He having fun. He been hanging out with Prince Charles' son.
Yeah. Prince Charles' son.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one that got caught in Vegas with his dick out in the suite. They videotaped it.
The one that's married to Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I mean, that was like 10 years ago. He was like 20 at the time or something. He was a child.
Hey, we'd all have more business in the streets if such things existed when we were that age.
Right.
I know that's right. I definitely would.
Not that I don't now, what I'm just saying.
Out. Yeah. Anyway,
Thank goodness cell phones was crappy.
yeah, we didn't even really have the internet like that. So,
$10 a month. Holla at your boy.
anyway, um, yeah, I can't. Oh, here's something that shocked the fuck out of me. And I mean, I don't know. Have y'all seen the videos? Shirley Ralph apparently got nominated for an Emmy for
I ain't seen her
Abbott
in a minute.
Elementary.
Okay, I never watched that show.
Oh my goodness, you're missing out. Great show. Very funny. Anyway, she got nominated for an Emmy, and a video was circulating with her being so happy that she got nominated for an Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. This is her first Emmy nomination ever. How is this possible?
You
She's
know
played
how
some
it's
obscure
possible.
roles.
Obscure. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember the woman being on TV in like the early '80s. Remember,
A
It's a
lot of
Living.
motherfuckers that ain't got a nomination since the 80s.
Okay, but a lot of those people haven't been working steadily as she has. So
Yeah,
I
I
just
mean, but she hasn't really been into any like she hasn't done a whole lot of groundbreaking like stuff that has been a stretch of her acting talents. So I don't know. I mean, I
yeah,
like her. Nothing against her,
yeah, I
Yeah,
but
just
she's
find it
talented.
weird. Yeah, I just find it weird that this is her very first. I mean, if
Gerald
they'd
Levert
said
ain't win a
this,
Grammy till after he died.
who?
Gerald Levert.
Oh yeah.
yes, but he was nominated. Like, if you had told me she'd never won an Emmy, I'd be like, oh, okay,
Okay,
that would be
what
special if she
role
won
had
an
she
Emmy.
done before that you feel was Emmy worthy?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just, I don't know. It's just weird because I grew up watching her, and I just think it's interesting when you can have a, what, 40 year,
Career.
40 plus year career in Hollywood where you're working steadily and never get an Emmy nomination. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I've been
all
listening
about
to
the
Redman all my
roles.
life. I'm not expecting him to ever win a Grammy. Like some stuff, it's you like it. The masses might not have caught on so well.
okay. I mean, well, that's definitely true. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just always thought that it was a
Shout out to
little.
her though. I hope she gets it.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I don't know who she's up against, to tell you the truth. But she is brilliant on that show. I mean, she is very funny on that show. So
Well, good that she's finally got a role that is worthy of her acting talents. So yay! I mean,
I mean, and the other.
Hmm,
Oh, go ahead.
I was
I
gonna
was
say
gonna
she took. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All together now.
I was gonna say the other show that she's currently on. She's also awesome in. Which I know y'all don't watch this, but there's a show called Motherland Fort Salem. I know y'all don't watch it. It's about witches, but anyway, she plays the president of the United States, and I like her in that role as well. But go ahead.
Why is it always a black
I
president
done
in
forgot what
movies
I
when
was
there's
gonna
some
say.
apocalyptic shit happening?
Not a movie, but go ahead.
Man,
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Um,
Oh,
but yay for her that she's got something. That's
yeah.
when you a black actress, and I mean she's a nice looking woman, but she's not typical Hollywood pretty. So she had to take the roles, she had to take the roles that she was offered. And
let me tell it, she beyond Hollywood pretty.
yeah, she is.
Oh,
She's a gorgeous woman, but she's
definitely.
not a Hollywood pretty. Y'all know what I mean.
Well, I don't know that that's true. I mean, maybe now as she's older, but like I remember her being on TV shows back in the day, and that was like the whole thing. Is that she was the pretty one.
Like
Like,
what shows?
do you ever? Well, again, I just said I don't think y'all even remember "It's a Living" when she was on that
I
show.
remember It's a Living.
Yeah, her whole thing on that show was that she was the pretty one. It was like her and I don't know, like three or four white girls, and the whole thing on the show was that she was the pretty one. She was like the beauty queen type on that show. So, I mean, I think probably when she was younger, Hollywood definitely recognized her beauty, but I
Hmm.
mean that's neither here because that wasn't normal for you know them to cast a black woman as the beauty on a show or that kind of thing. But anyway, neither here nor there. Congratulations to her. Good luck. All of
For
that.
sure. For sure.
Um, so last
Topics,
weekend,
topics, topics.
Star calls me. Well, last week, Star calls me and is like, "Come go with me on Saturday to this concert." And I'm like, do I really want to go to this concert? Dude is old. Do I want to go see an old dude just sitting at the
You
edge?
know.
Not that old. Sitting
No,
at
well,
the
that's
edge,
true.
sitting at the edge of the stage, just doing nothing, inanimate. But I'm so glad that I
That's where
decided
them
to
older
go.
dudes put on a show. These young motherfuckers be out of breath doing nothing.
So I'm so glad I decided to go because even though Billy Joel is
He's
in his
72.
70s,
He's
he
72.
put on a great concert.
Yes.
And yeah, and shout out to the white dude sitting behind us that was paying a whole lot more attention to us than his own wife. I wanted to tell
You
him
know,
so
you brought a
bad.
begging date.
Yeah, I wanted to tell him so bad. Your wife is right there. You can talk to her.
Who wants
But
to do that?
right, apparently, because he was all up in our mix. I mean, friendly dude, nice guy, but it was
That
just funny
helps.
to me. Um, but yeah, great concert. So, thank you to Star for taking me.
And thank you
I
for
have
going.
fun.
I'm glad. I was concerned for a minute, but
Why?
I'm glad you
Why?
did. Because I didn't know. When you first got in the car, it was like, oh, hell, it's going to be one of them nights. I was like,
Oh,
I don't know. It's like your mood changed. Like once we got out the car and started walking toward Comerica Park, I was like, oh, okay, yay.
oh well. I mean, I'm always tired. I'm old. I'll be tired. Tired.
Now she's old. Okay.
Well, I'm always old. I always say that.
Shout out to Billy and them.
I had to
Who's Lily?
sneeze. But yeah,
Billy.
the band, awesome. Uh,
Yes.
Star goes to the bathroom. um, Star goes to the bathroom, and who comes out as a special guest? Joe Elliott,
Pour
because
some sugar
yeah,
on
because
me.
apparently Def Leppard was playing
Wow.
the following night, so he came out and he did "Pour Some Sugar on Me" with Billy and the band, and that was great too.
That's
So
the last song I danced with a white chick too.
Pour some sugar on me.
as it
Yeah.
should be. Um,
He can dance with a white chick if he wants to.
Nah, what
no, I'm
happened was
saying
we
if
was
you're
out
going
in
to do it,
Buckhead
that
and they
is the right
were
song.
playing, what white people play in the club back then. And I remember it was Beastie Boys, Fight for Your Right to Party. And she was like, let's dance. And I was like, yeah, so there's no beat. And she was like, well, do what everybody else does. And I was like, jump up and down and scream.
Jump up
She's
and
like,
down and do
yeah. I
nothing.
was like,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
pretty
I'm
much.
not doing that. So I was like, I got you next song though. And Pour Some Sugar on Me happened to be the next song.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out to white strippers.
shout out to the white people because they were singing along. I was singing along. Um, you know, to not just to that song, but all the Billy Joel songs. He didn't do them all. He didn't do,
You
one of
can't.
my favorites, but well, exactly, which is why I wasn't like, oh man, he sucks. He didn't do that song, but he did most of the ones that I wanted to hear. So good for him. Um, so I'm just letting anybody know if you have a chance to go see him in concert, go see him in concert. Um,
Cool.
Also, we hit up a taco truck late night. Shout out to the taco truck for still
Man,
being open.
you are
You're
so.
you're so
What's wrong with
nasty.
you?
Everybody
Very.
loves
I
a good
keep telling you
taco.
that.
What
Wow.
that old Beavis and Butthead get laugh you get?
Right.
Chicken dinner taco. Anyway, go
Ew.
ahead.
Oh. You
So the
killed
name of
my
the taco truck was called
El Taco.
Tacos El Loco. So shout out.
Tacos are loco. Okay.
Crazy.
Anyway, yeah. Shout out to them because they were open long after they had intended to be closed, but they indulged us, and I appreciate that. Um. So yeah, that's all I got. Anybody else?
Nothing but my topic. So
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all know what I did after the last episode. So let's get into some topics for this week.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So Star. Um. Women out here trying to fight with these men, huh? In the streets.
yeah, so
Not if you but.
I was um I was coming home after work and I had stopped by the Coney because I wanted a cup of ice. And on my way back from the Coney, I noticed this guy and this girl, and they were standing outside of the car, and they were arguing. And he was in her face, pretty aggressive. And I don't know, there was a car seat in the back of the car, and just the whole scene didn't look good. So what I did was, is I pulled over in the parking lot of the Kroger's, and I'm like, hopefully it doesn't turn into a fight. But if he, starts beating on her, I, was gonna call the police. So they get into this argument, and he gets out of her face, but they still having this yelling and shouting match. And I don't know what he said to her because I wasn't really watching it to listen to what, like to be nosy like that. But I was concerned for her safety more than anything. And so she hops up and he like, oh, I'm sorry. He goes to walk away. He goes to walk away toward 8 Mile. And so she starts yelling at him, chasing after him. And at some point, she's like all in dude's face. Like he's got this long object in his hand that looked like maybe some sort of, I thought it was a pipe, or something like that. But again, I wasn't close enough for them to be all up in their business. So she's running up on him, all in his face, pushing on him, shouting at him, daring him. I mean, like, fuck you, bitch, you punk ass bitch. And like, she just going off on him. And he's like, back up. He's like, back up, leave me alone, whatever, whatever, whatever. And she still kept going off of him. I mean, like, going at him. So then she starts pushing on him. And he was like, don't fucking touch me. He just kept saying it, like, back up. He was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. So then she goes to grab whatever that stick was. And that's how that all began. She goes to grab whatever the stick was out of his hand. And they're doing this whole little tug of war thing. And he's like, back up, let it go. Let it go, let it go. And he finally like shakes the stick out of her hand and it kind of knocks her, like her balance off a little bit. And as she's stumbling, he takes his right hand and you could hear him connect with her face. And like he swung on her a couple of times. So I don't really know what was going on, like at that point, because I'm on the phone, like, I'm not about to sit up and watch this guy beat the hell out this girl. So even though there's like other bystanders, including dudes, like it's this one dude, this one car full of men, and they were older guys too. They pulled up with like a fucking bird's eye seat of the whole thing, and y'all sitting up watching this guy beat on this girl. All they doing is recording. So I'm on the phone with the police trying to tell them, hey, this is this. I'm giving a description, whatever, 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 right? So all of a sudden I see him take whatever that long thing is in his hand, and he just starts wailing on her like he's bah, bah, bah. And I'm like, oh my Lord. Like you knew he was in the upper part of her body, but at the angle, I couldn't see exactly where he was hitting her, but still, it was just like, y'all hurry up, please. I'm like, he about to beat this girl to death. So then some girl comes from across the street, and she was just yelling, what's good, what's good, what's good. And he was like, he stopped and he was like, go the fuck home, stay out of this and this, that, and the other. So she gets over there and she's like, get off my cousin, get off my cousin, whatever, whatever. She was like, bitch, you about to kill her. And she like all in his face. Again, he like, back up, back up. He's like warning her, back up. And she did something, and I couldn't see what it was to his angle. But then he basically just was like, bow, right in her face, and took the pole, hit her once, stepped away from her, and started fucking up her car. Like busted window, hood, lights, side mirror, whatever. And the girl is literally still laying on the floor. Now, when he hit the second girl, she fell against the back of the car. And I'm thinking like maybe she's unconscious, because she's really not even moving. Okay. So finally the girl gets up. The first girl gets up, and she was yelling. She's hysterical at this point, like, stop, stop. And he just tearing up the car, staring up the car. And then he starts swinging at her. And at least she, at that point, had the sense to kind of back up. So he finishes with the car. And then he says, fuck y'all, I'll kill both you bitches up in here. And he's walking away toward 8 Mile. So as he gets closer to 8 Mile, they're doing all this yelling back and forth. But this girl who just literally got the crap beat out of her. Finally, the cousin gets up about this point. But this girl who literally got the crap beat out of her, she's still threatening him. And she was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, at what point do you realize this is not a fight you can win and shut the fuck up for your own safety? And my thing was, this girl had a car seat in the back. You probably got a baby or babies at home. Like, oh my God. So finally the police get there, but they didn't catch dude, because dude had already walked off toward 8 Mile going west, like toward the Burger King. But the girl, she actually hopped in the car. They drove the car across the street from wherever the cousin comes from. So I'm going to pull off, because I'm like, okay, the police are here now, they, whatever. I go to pull off. But as I'm getting ready to pull off, another police car comes up from around off of 8 Mile and turns onto Wyoming. So I pull over to let him pass. And all you can hear is this girl outside. She just hollering, yelling, hysterical, whatever. She looking at her car and all of this other stuff. So when I finally got past, I saw that girl's face. And if she won't be disfigured for the rest of her life, I will be just surprised. Like, he fucked her up. And I understand that when you get mad, tempers flare up and you get out of control and all of this. But what I don't understand is these women getting in these niggas' faces thinking that just because you a woman or a female or whatever, a girl, that these dudes won't fuck you up. Like, you'd get fucked up back in the day, but these younger men, they have even less fucking self-control. They have less fucking, like, for as ignorant as dude sound, I wouldn't have even thought that he would have had as much control as he did. And at some point, he just snapped and started fucking her up. And I felt bad for her, but there were so many opportunities for her to have walked away from that situation unharmed, and she just kept egging him and egging him and egging him. And the reason why I wanted to tell that story, because I'm like, these women, and again, it's not just the young girls, but these women really have to learn to stay out these dudes' faces. I understand you get mad. I get it. Whatever you get mad about and they pissed you off about, whether it's that you cheated or whatever the case may be, but you cannot get in these dudes' faces and expect good outcomes. You just can't. Because these dudes can literally do something to you that will alter you for the rest of your life. And at the end of the day, it's just not fucking worth it. That's my story.
You got to know when to fold 'em, know when to hold 'em, know when
Well,
to walk away, know when to run.
first of all, I agree with you. Because I mean, that was my unpopular opinion back in the year of our Lord, 1988. I remember having this
Ooh, it's a long
very,
time ago.
yes, this very protracted argument with some people at Michigan State about a situation that occurred. Anyway, it was told to me that this dude was in the wrong. Basically, what happened was this girl was, first of all, she was sloppy drunk. It was a white girl, sloppy drunk.
That's a different level of it.
Yes, white girl, sloppy drunk at a party. This dude, friend of mine, um, and it should be noted that he was about 6'7" tall, black man. Um, he accidentally bumped into her,
Mm-hmm.
turned around, told her he apologized, he was sorry. You know, he didn't even really have to do that because the reason he bumped into her is because she was doing drunk white girl stuff. So she was all over the fucking place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he apologized. Oh, I didn't see, didn't mean to bump into you, whatever. She still got mad at him, starts cussing at him, takes whatever drink she had in her hand and threw it at him.
Mm.
Now, his response to this was to reach out and touch somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and everybody said he was wrong for that. I said he wasn't, because if somebody
She
throws
assaulted him.
exactly, because if somebody throws something at me, it's a reflex. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
and clearly, because I mentioned she was a white girl, clearly he pulled his punch because she didn't even bruise. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So clearly he realized as he was throwing that punch
That he
that
couldn't hit her with that full force.
exactly. So he clearly pulled his punch because she didn't even bruise. But everybody was like, it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be hitting her. I'm like, but she hit him first.
She assaulted him
And
first.
exactly. And so
I
I was never of the mind that you're allowed to hit a dude and he has to take it. Like, I have never understood that mindset because,
never.
I was always taught you play with the big dogs, you got to be willing to
Big
get
dick.
it.
Yup.
So, but also to your point, when you said, didn't she realize that she wasn't going to win this? Okay. You make the assumption that that was her goal. Because I'll tell you one thing. Back in the day, back in my bout it days, when I was young, if I was going to engage in a fight, and it's only been a couple times where I wanted to fight a dude, or needed to fight a dude is more.
Yeah, because
Um,
wanted has never ended.
no, I mean I don't want to fight you. I mean they're never mind. I won't even
Continue
let
on.
you into my mind like that. But yeah, whenever I have gone to fight a dude, two things are abundantly clear. When that decision goes on in my mind, if it in fact is a decision, because I told you guys about the time where I was actively trying not to fight and I still hit the dude. But um, when there's a decision in my mind that okay, this is worth fighting for, two things are abundantly clear. One, I'm not about to fight you fairly.
Exactly.
So get that out your mind. Okay.
Exactly.
Just get that
Exactly.
out your mind. Not gonna fight you fairly. And secondly, when as I have decided to engage to the death. Like I don't care. Like 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 the fact that I might get my ass beat, don't even care because one of us gotta get taken out here. So
Listen, I have only had the occasion of having an altercation with three dudes. One of them was real early. Like, I hit him on some bullshit and I shouldn't have, but I was angry. I hit him because he was destroying something of mine. Okay. He turned around and made me see stars. When I kind of got my bearings, that's when I realized I had a decent right hook. You understand? Um, that was when I was real young. The second time was I threw a skillet at somebody. The third time was a dude hit me because we were getting ready to go somewhere and he didn't like what I had on, which you know me, I don't wear nothing crazy. You understand? But because it was form fitting and all of that, he had an issue with it. And he decided that because I was defying his orders, that he was gonna put his hand on me. And
oh, you
I'm
were
not gonna
emasculating him.
I guess that's what he felt like. Okay. And when he put his hands on me, I picked up a chair and tried to knock him to Saturn.
Yeah.
I picked up a dime, and the thing about that is that, you know, it's like you can't go if you gonna decide that you gonna fight a dude. Like this dude had a pole. Well, come to find out it was a bat. He had a bat in his hand. But so he had a bat in his hand, and she knew that. I didn't. Our aluminum bat at that. Okay, so she knew that. I didn't. You ain't got nothing but your 140-pound looking 5 foot, possibly six frame. Okay, and this dude got a whole ass bat. If you gonna get up in some nigga's face like that, you ought to make, at the very least, make sure that you got something that if he retaliates, that you can defend your fucking self with. At the very
Well,
least.
again, you grew up as an only child. So I grew up with an older brother. My brother was 2 years older than me. My brother was always bigger than me. So we would fight. Okay. And like all my life I had to fight. So, and if you don't know, my brother, in high school was 6'4", about 330. I wasn't scared of him. Okay. So any dude's attempt to intimidate me since has always fallen flat. Because if I ain't scared of him,
But you don't
I'm
be
damn.
all up in dudes' faces, do you?
No, no. But my point is this.
We've heard some stories.
Right. Well, we
Well,
is
no,
that one
dudes.
story.
Well, first of all, again, I was trying not to hit that guy, trying really hard because. But anyway, the only times I've actually had to fight dude, other than that dude, and other than my brother, because I'm not counting my brother, because that's sibling shit. But even with my brother, and that's where I was going with that. Even with my brother was a lot bigger than me. Okay. So I had to learn guerrilla warfare. Okay. I had to learn guerrilla warfare. I wasn't about to sit up here and trade punches with my brother. Okay.
Hmm.
So what my brother had to learn was, yeah, he probably could beat me, punch, if we were
Punch
just
for
going to be
punch.
punching at each other, but that I wasn't the fool that was going to sit around and do that.
Hmm.
Okay. I was going to get you some other kind of way, you know. So,
But
and
these girls be out here defenseless and be in these dudes' faces. Like,
okay,
damn.
well, I will say that one of the times that I had to fight a dude was he was dating a friend of mine. Matter of fact, they have a child together, and they were arguing. And the next thing I know, now my friend is maybe about 5'1" at the time, was maybe about 145 pounds,
Mm.
and this dude was like 6'1", probably like 230, 240, significantly larger than her.
Hmm.
Um, Next thing I know, he had her like pinned down, and was about to punch her. And I mean, I'm not about to sit up. I'm not about to sit there and let you beat on my friend, my family member. Like I'm just not about to do that. So,
That's a different situation, though.
no, but I'm just saying. I also am stronger than I look, which is always surprising to dudes because they just think that, we're all so weak. I'm stronger than I look. So, yeah, and that wasn't even really a fight per se, because when I saw him, I snatched him up. Basically, I put him in a full Nelson and threw him off my friend, and he was mad about that, so he swung at me, and I was like, "Oh, this is what we're doing." And then when he saw in my face, and this is also another thing, when he saw in my face that, yeah, we was about to go toe to toe, he decided it was probably best that he leave, and he did.
And again, that's a different like situation. Like Magic, have you ever had a woman up in your face like that?
Yes.
And what happened?
Keep in mind, I'm way calmer than most people, but we were at a mutual friend's party, and one of my exes was there, and it was a pool party, but it really wasn't particularly warm that day. So I told her I was going swimming, and it's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm getting drunk with the fellas or whatever. At some point, she gets out the pool and just, and basically it came down to like, why is your ex's new man treating her better than you're treating me? And I'm like, maybe because she's not getting on his fucking nerves. So she swung at me. I ducked it and cocked back and was like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? And just pushed her in the pool and walked away. But I have more
Yeah,
common sense than most people and way better control of my emotions. And listening to all this shit, quite simply, in the words of Onyx, ain't nothing worse than a bitch ass nigga. It's like, my guy, okay, your chick is tripping. Every real motherfucker know, push her off, walk away. You might have to shake her. You might have to put her in a sleeper hold, whatever. If you're holding a bat and fighting a girl, nigga, kill yourself. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And even worse than his bitch ass is a gang of dudes, grown, sitting in a
Right,
fucking
sitting
car
there
filming it for
watching
Word
them.
Star. Like,
well,
and
and
I'm an
well,
advocate of you don't get involved in domestic disputes, but there's only so much of watching a chick get her ass whooped before I'm be like, yo, son, you wildin',
right,
back the fuck up.
right,
I got
and
daughters, man. Shit is real.
right, and then to your point, when the second person came down and was like, "You need to step off my," like, I don't blame that person. Like, I don't, because
Nah,
I'm
she
not
was the
about to.
most gangsta out the bunch.
Yeah, because I'm not about to sit here and let you beat on my cousin. Like, I'm not going to do that. And if I got to get my ass beat too, so be it. But I'm not about to sit here and let you kill my cousin and not do nothing about it. Like, no,
And at the
no.
same token, accountability is accountability. I'm not arguing with a child that's holding a bat. Like, fuck out of here.
Well, but here's my thing with him. If he had enough sense to tell her to get back, at that point, he had enough sense that he could have walked away.
Yeah.
So, I just. But yeah, I mean, I've had women tell me, because again, I've been having this fight with this argument with women like my whole life. I have had women tell me that it doesn't matter if I hit him, he shouldn't hit me back. And I'm like, that is some
Yeah,
shit
your parents lied to
that's
you.
that's going to get you killed one day. One of our mutual friends called me one day. And she was married. It called me one day, just all upset, and I'm like, "What happened?" That motherfucker hit me. Okay, I'm on my way. Okay, because no, that is not what we do. Okay, so I get over there, and he out in the front yard, just calm as can be, um, drunk but calm. I go in the house to see about her. She's still mad. That motherfucker hit me. I was like, what happened? Well, such and such and such and such, and he said such and such, and I punched him, and that motherfucker punched me back. Like, I was like, so you got me over here ready to
Duh.
fight for some shit you started. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that I thought to investigate, because there's some shit you started. Don't put your hands on people, women. Okay, don't put your hands on anybody and expect that that's supposed to be okay. No,
Because
Yes,
it's not.
realistically, as men, you're not supposed to hit back, but
I see.
Well,
everybody ain't
a
about
lot of
that
these
same mind state.
men do not have that much self control. They don't have half of it. And so in order for you to keep yourselves out of those types of situations where somebody can literally alter your life, literally just alter the course of your life in 30 seconds. Stay out of these dudes' faces. Quit getting up in their faces like you all big and bad and bold and putting your hands on them. Just stop it.
And listen, Magic, I understand what you're saying. Men shouldn't hit women, but you
No, I
have
was
to
taught by
understand.
my mother, if a chick swing on you like a dude, whoop her ass like one. But at some
Well, and
point, you
that's
got to know legally this ain't going to end well for you, especially if your
well,
ass is big or carrying a bat.
well, definitely. And I mean, legally, if she hit you first, you fine to hit her back. But what you can't
Shit.
do, no, that is true. That is true. If she hit you first, she assaulted you. So,
Okay, but I'm
but
6'4" and 240. If a little
doesn't
white chick
matter.
hits me
No,
and I swing back,
no, no.
it's a
The
no
law
win in
just
Virginia.
well, that's because it depends on who your witnesses are. Because if someone
Side
says
note,
that
shout out to Miles Bridges.
right, if somebody don't even get me started. If somebody says that they hit you if someone says that person hit you first, then that's that. I mean, if you hit them back,
Boxing has weight classes for a
but
reason.
but here's what you cannot do. Okay, and there's a caveat to that. You can't hit them back and then just beat them to a motherfucking bloody pulp just because you feel like it, or because you can't do that, because yeah, then you're gonna go to jail because your reaction was too much. I mean, just like if someone's robbing your house and you pull a gun on them and they go to run and you shoot them in the back, you're probably going to go to prison for that.
Listen,
But
that may be the legal rules, but I ain't pressing my luck.
And
well,
I don't
and,
blame
and
you.
nor should you.
Yep.
Okay,
I have no
and that's my
problem giving
point.
you hoes.
And that's my point. And that's my point. That if you have enough sense to tell somebody else to get back, you have enough sense that you should walk away. But I mean, because talking about life altering, um, so is going to prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you don't want to
Exactly.
be the nigga in the cell talk about, yeah, I had to beat up two chicks with a bat. It ain't gonna go
Yeah.
over well for you, my guy.
It's a pride thing. They don't understand pride, and that's a problem.
who's talking?
Louis Farrakhan?
No, that's not who that sounded like.
I don't know. I was listening to some of his Calypso joints earlier. Little different.
No, sure.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So speaking of prison, and this is a pretty good segue. I gotta pat myself on the back. So speaking of prison, I was enjoying my 99 cent a month all black subscription. You know, if you're
99 cents a month. What?
Oh, black
Amazon
subscription.
Prime was offering some certain subscriptions for 99 cents a month
Oh.
months,
Okay.
and I got in on that all black because there was a couple things I wanted to see on all black that I could I'm like, I can do 2 months, I can do $2 for 2 months and then cancel. But anyway, so y'all know Judge Lynn Toller? Anyone?
Sounds familiar, but it's not ringing any bells like
Yes,
that.
I do.
She used to be the judge that was on divorce court. She was the second judge, Judge Maybelline Ephraim, and then it was Judge Lynn Toller. She's the one that has the flawless makeup all the damn time. And then now it's another one on there. Kenny Lattimore's new wife, Judge Faith, is now on there. I haven't seen her version of divorce court, but anyway. Judge Lynn Toller now has a different show that's on all black, and it's called Commit or Quit. So basically, she goes in and evaluates these people's relationships. Some
I've
of
seen the
them,
commercials.
some of them are married, some of them are not. They've been together for a while, and they're trying to decide whether they should get married or call the whole relationship off. Not surprisingly. Most of those couples, I'm like, y'all need to get away from each other. But anyway, one of the episodes was a couple who had been together, and I say together in quotes, for about 25 years. Okay. They got married. He went to prison for 4 years. She stuck
Okay.
by
Wait a
him.
minute, not to cut you off, but they were together for about 25 years before they got married?
No,
Oh. All right. Go
no,
ahead.
they've been together for about 25 years.
Okay.
And at the beginning of their relationship, they went and got married. I think they had one child, and then he went to prison for
Okay.
dealing drugs. Okay.
Okay.
Went to prison. He did, I want to say, 3 years or something like that. 2 years, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But he did a couple years in prison. She stuck by him. He came out. They had more kids. So now they've got 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
She told him, I can't have you going to prison again. If you go to prison again, I'm going to divorce you.
Mm-hmm.
He went to prison again. This time, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, something like that, 7 years. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
She divorced him while he was in prison. I think like the 3rd year he was in prison, she divorced him, started a new relationship. He gets out of prison. They get back together. But get this. He is having a hard time forgiving her for divorcing him and not sticking by him while he was in prison, and for what he calls cheating on him by being in this new relationship. So, what do you think are your obligations to your significant other um, when they go to prison? What should your obligation be to your significant other
Being
when they
I'm the most likely to fuck a criminal, I'll take it. One dude got to take the win. Like she stuck it out 3 years the first go round and brought you back, then got rid of you and brought you back. Like you kept failing. Who you mad at? But I think for me, the best I might do is a year. Like if I really love you, I'll hold you down for a year. Then even me being a loner, I got to find something else to do.
Aren't you a trooper? But anyway,
right?
I'll put it like this. Okay, the first time I got locked up, it was three different charges, and the lawyer was basically like, "Okay, so you're going to get 5 to 25," which
Damn.
don't even match up. But yay, West Virginia. Anyway, at that point, I called outside of family every chick I knew. Like, yo, I'm out. Like, I'll holler at you when I get out. I don't want to be one of the motherfuckers in there arguing with your girl on the phone, stressed the fuck out all the damn time. That shit corny. Like, you fucked up, nigga. Go to timeout. I wouldn't say I'd like completely disown a chick after that year, but you expected me to still be faithful? Like, come on.
Well, one thing he did say, he was more hurt that she divorced him than the fact that she was with another dude. Like he did say that he would have
He
rathered her
earned
just
it.
cheat on. He
She
said he
literally
would rather
told
her
your
just,
ass if you get locked up again,
and
you
that
mad
was my
she kept
point.
the word?
And that was my point. Like she let you know ahead of
she
time.
warned him.
Don't
She
fuck up.
warned him, and he's being real selfish. At the end of the day, he's being real
Agree.
selfish. Like you're doing whatever it is that you're doing to keep getting locked up. Not only are you taking your presence away from the household, which affects the kids and the family and everything. I mean, it affects the relationship. Like at the end of the
Dog,
day, she's still human. You leaving this woman alone for
with 4 kids
with 4 kids.
to
Now,
take
I mean,
care of.
exactly. So, with all the stresses and things that she's going through, who is
Right,
she to have to turn to? She doesn't have a partner she can turn to. She can sit
right.
and, she can talk to you on the phone for 15 minutes or maybe write you some letters, but that's
And,
not like
and you sitting
you
up there
being
talking
here.
about, and you sitting up there talking about how she abandoned you.
Yeah, he's selfish as
Like,
hell. But a lot of
dog,
guys who go to prison have that selfish mentality. Like, you didn't hold me down. You ain't put nothing on my books and my commissary. Like, nigga, you did whatever you did to get locked up, and then you want somebody to sacrifice to hold you down while you in jail. Like, no. No.
Realistically, prison is generally not rehabilitation. If you go in at 19 and you get out at 28, at 28 years old, you still had the mentality of a 19-year-old.
sure.
I didn't
Seen
think
it.
about
Well,
that.
I'm just letting you know. Listen. PSA. Um, if you go to prison, we have broken up. I mean, I'm sorry.
And for
That
exact
is
legal purposes, anything less than a year, you're in jail. Once it's a year or more sentence, that's prison. So if you
um,
made it to prison, you in there for over a year.
okay. Well, here's my thing. Also, it depends on what you go to prison for. Okay, let's get that out there because I mean there are exceptions. If you go to prison,
Selling drugs to feed my baby.
yeah, no, no,
Baby
no, you're
starving like a
out.
motherfucker, but my rims are
Right,
shiny.
exactly. So no, 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 none of that. But like, let's say, I don't know. There are circumstances like I'm a firm believer in that there are certain things that are worth going to prison for. If you fuck with my child, I will come for you and I will gladly do my time. Like I'm okay with that.
Standing on my
You know,
head.
yeah. So depends on what it was, but Yeah, for the most part, if you go to prison, we have broken up, or I mean, that's just what that is.
Well, don't get locked up, Magic.
I'm past that point in life. I will gladly pay bail now. I don't have time to be sitting around. Whatever the lawyer need, he gonna get.
Yeah,
For real. Yeah, dude selfish though.
so that became like a larger discussion as to like what should you expect if you go to prison? Like, what do you expect of your significant other? Because I can't imagine expecting some. First of all, I don't even know what the fuck you're doing in prison. You know what I mean? Like you out here talking about what I'm doing on the outside. I mean, I don't even want to think about what the hell you doing in prison. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
not as bad as Oz made it look.
well, and I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while you out here,
If you always want to hit the booty hole and mistakenly say your turn afterwards, you
okay,
can kind of get into it.
I'm not doing this with you.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway,
Just saying, I done seen a lot of tough dudes switch up in
yeah,
them circumstances.
not doing this with you.
But it ain't hard to tell.
But my point is, my point is that I'm not like I have no way of knowing what went on while you were in prison. You know that you all holier than thou. I'm hearing an echo.
I
Y'all hear
don't
that?
know. Nope.
No, but what you were saying was showing up on Star's track. You listening on a speaker?
I'm listening
No.
on my computer speaker like I do every week.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
no.
Maybe she was just loud.
Oh,
Oh.
maybe.
You call me loud. Well,
I could drown it
Oh.
out. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, if I
Oh,
was going to go to
see?
prison, I would not expect anybody to wait for me.
Nah, wouldn't it be cool? But nah, that ain't realistic.
my
I don't
ex
even know if it would
my
be
ex
cool.
husband and I broke up for a minute, and I dated this guy who I didn't know was into doing crazy stuff at the time. But we had this whole discussion, and he was like, "Yeah, if I get caught," he was like, I'm probably gonna get hit up for a long time." And I was like, okay. First of all, I didn't know you was out here doing dumb stuff. Nice to know. Second of all, he's like, yeah, he's like, you got me. I was like, I got who? Like, dude, I've been knowing you for a couple of months. What you mean? Do I got you? Like, no. Listen, the only way I'm gonna hold you down is if you get locked up, if you get wrongfully imprisoned. You understand? If you get wrongfully imprisoned and we're in a relationship, or we're married or whatever, then okay, but you out here doing stupid shit to get put in jail? Yeah, no.
Okay. Also, is there a difference between? Do you think that there's a difference between if you're married when that person goes down and when you're not? If y'all are just together?
Of course
Nope.
there is. No, of course there is. The level of commitment is different. Of
It
course it is.
really
I mean, the
isn't.
paper
Married
got to
people
show
cheat all the
something.
fucking time.
You said what?
Yeah.
Married people cheat all the time. That shit ain't a commitment. It's a fucking legally binding contract.
I get that. You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get
Once
the
you decide to
intent, but
sign, once you decide to sign that paperwork with somebody, your level of commitment to them should be different.
should.
Well,
Usually
I
isn't, but
I agree with Magic on this because
Of course you
only
do.
be,
I'm just saying. I'm just
you
kidding.
get that same year, heifer. If
well,
it's unjust, you might get two, maybe two and a
well,
half, but
and
marriage ain't
and the
gonna make the difference.
and that's what I'm saying, because if we're married, especially if you went up because you doing dumb shit in the streets, you know what I mean? Where
But do
was
you
your
know that
obligation?
when you married them? I mean,
You
Well,
would hope
maybe,
so.
maybe not, because it's a bunch of shady motherfuckers around here. But
even double lives. Yeah.
I mean, where was your obligation to our family when you were out there doing stuff that was going to get you
Yeah.
sent away? You know what I mean? So Nah,
I do this for you, baby.
Like I said, it's a
whatever.
difference between wrongfully in prison and then out here doing dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I
that's my two
mean,
cents.
but even wrongfully imprisoned, like I might fight for you. But if you think I'm gonna sit around waiting for you to get out in 5, 10 years, no,
Mhm.
probably not. I'll fight for you. I'll do what I can, to help you out. But I mean, I have to live my life. My life cannot grind to a halt because you were falsely imprisoned. I mean,
I am not Papoose.
okay.
Look it up.
No, I know who you're talking about. But yeah, I just don't see that. But I don't know. There are different people who are raised in different ways. So I mean, there are probably people out there who think it's their obligation to sit and wait. Yeah, I am under no such delusions. Wow.
Her name Winnie Mandela.
Well, that was a whole different thing. And I mean, maybe she waited, maybe she didn't. I mean, because as soon as, because they did end up getting divorced. So,
Yeah. I think it said marriage is more annoying than prison. Fuck this shit.
or he came out and they found that they had grown in different directions, which is
Inevitably.
which is most likely the case. So, but that's what I mean. Like, like I would fight for you if I felt like you were unjustly in prison. Like I would fight for you, but I'm not gonna sit around and wait. But because I got my own life to live. Where'd Star go?
Yeah. We wrap this shit up.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we only did 2 topics again,
Y'all be
but
rambling.
y'all,
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, for those of you that made it this far, appreciate you. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe, and if you don't, quite literally, tell everybody you know. It is the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and the Threesome Pod on Twitter. Peace.
Peace.
There she go.
Have a good week, good people.
Yeah, I'm going to walk the dog.
Walking the dog. Magic,
Dog.
Yeah, thank you.
you didn't say dog.
He finally. He was late with it, but you need to stay on your cues.
Okay, this chick just disappeared for 5 minutes.
Whoa!
You.
I did not. I was right here.
Mhm.
I was.
It's recorded.
Bye, y'all.
Adios, peoples.
Bye.